good, you guys? It's Boomer and you're watching Bali Star. Today, we're getting into how to tell accents apart. An accent expert explains how to tell them apart. You feel me? So, let's see what type of accent he's talking about and or comes up with. Let's get straight on into it. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Eric Singer. I'm a dialect coach. You may have seen me here before talking about accent performances in movies.
What do Texas accents and South Asian accents have in common? The answer is retroflexion.
So today I'm going to offer you some quick and easy ways to tell one accent apart from another when those two accents are pretty similar in a lot of ways. Can you ask somebody to say a simple phrase to try to tell whether they're from, say, Australia or New Zealand?
I'm originally from Sydney, Australia.
From Philly, PA.
Yorkshire. New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Number one, how to tell an Australian from a New Zealander.
Okay.
You can use the kit vowel. In Australia, there's a realization that is not too far off from my own American accent. For instance, something like an I sound. An Australian might say that something like this.
Myth, myth, myth.
New Zealanders tend to centralize this sound. So instead of the tongue being arched up a little bit towards the front of the mouth, it's relaxed down a little bit towards the middle of the mouth, and you get something closer to a schwa. Kut. You can hear that here.
Myth, myth, myth,
Myth,
and myth,
myth.
and myth.
So there's one actually very famous phrase that you can use that you could ask somebody at a cocktail party, say, to pronounce, to try to tell whether they're an Australian or a New Zealander if you're not sure. And that phrase would be fish and chips. An Australian might say that something like this.
Fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips.
Whereas the New Zealand version might sound more like this.
Fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips,
Fish and chips,
fish and chips,
fish and chips.
fish and chips.
Fish and
Number
chips.
2, how to tell somebody from the north of England from somebody from the south of England.
There's really a difference?
Many accents in both places, of course. But the cool thing is you can draw a line straight across England. North of that line, strut words like cup, under, mother, love, son, are going to have a vowel sound something like oo, very similar to the vowel sound in foot words like wood, butcher, woman, look. Here is a Northern English person, and you can hear their strut vowel.
Cop, cop, cop.
In the South, there are going to be two different vowels. One is strut and one is foot, and they won't sound the same. Here's a speaker from the South.
Cup, cup, cup.
From the North.
Mother, mother, mother. Song, song, song.
From the South.
Fun, fun, fun.
Song,
Fun,
song.
fun.
So if you meet somebody and you're pretty sure that their accent is from somewhere in England, but you want to know whether it's from the North or from the South.
I want to have them say the same words, like myth. I want all of them to say myth, so that way I can really get the distinct difference, you know, because they all, I don't know, they're all sound the same. Like Australian, England, it's like North England sounds like Australian, South England sounds like New Zealand. It's like, or vice versa. It's like they're starting to sound the same.
You could ask them to say the following phrase. Did you cut your foot? From the North.
Cut your foot, cut your foot, cut your foot.
From the South.
Cut your foot, cut your foot, cut your foot,
Cut your foot.
cut
It
your
sounds
foot.
like he's saying, I don't want to say the word,
Cut your
but
foot.
yeah.
So, of course, there are
Sounds
many
like he's
different
saying that
Northern
word
English
instead.
accents. Two
Cut your
famous
foot.
ones are Geordie from Newcastle
your
and
foot.
Brummie from Birmingham. One way that you could potentially tell a Geordie accent from a Brummie accent would be to take the face vowel. A Brummie is going to have a sound that's kind of similar to a London sound. It's a diphthong. Tell a Geordie accent from a Brummie accent would be to take the face
Isn't that the
vowel.
same as
a
North
Brummie is going to have
and
a sound
South?
that's kind of similar to a London sound. It's a diphthong. It's a vowel sound that starts
Diphthong?
and ends
Diphthong?
up e, moves from I, it takes a journey.
Dipping your
So
thong?
if you hear something like this,
Girl.
Great cakes, great, great, great.
you're dealing with a Brummie. If you hear something that's much more monophthongal, something like this,
Great cakes, great, great, great.
then you're dealing with a Geordie. Phrase could be, David bakes great cakes. You can hear that here.
David bakes great cakes.
David bakes great cakes.
Bakes great cakes.
Bakes
great
great
cakes.
cakes.
Bakes great cakes.
Next
Bakes
up,
great
New York and
cakes.
Boston.
New York versus
Now this one's
Boston.
probably easier
Of course,
to
I
hear in
get
places you're
the
American,
difference in
probably
those
less so if
accents.
you're not an American. The lot vowel is going to be very open, fronted, no lip round.
I like Boston because, like, I don't know. I'm just giving the moniker that Boston is more like fighting Irish type. You know what I'm saying? New York is just brash. But the fact that, you know, they're like the fighting type is like, you know, it varies. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's half and half. Like they could be, they could not be. But based on the way they talk, they sound like they do. You know what I'm saying? But Boston about that action.
Sounding in a New York accent, lot, hot, not.
Or at least
God.
the ones that go to the
Here's a New
pub.
York speaker.
Not.
It's going to be a little
Not.
bit lip rounded in a Boston accent, so more like lot, God. Here's a Boston speaker.
Not.
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 So here's a phrase you could ask
Not.
somebody to say. That's not a lot of pots. If they say it with an ah, that's not a lot of pots.
That's not.
They're probably from New York.
That's not
That's
a
not
lot.
a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots.
If they say it with an aw, that's not a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots. That's not a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots.
That's not a lot of pots.
Next up, New York City and
You're
Philadelphia.
laughing at the end, bro. Where's
So
Philadelphia?
both New York City and Philadelphia raise the trap vowel in certain circumstances.
They
So
be
you'll
trapping.
get ah instead of ah.
Trapping
They do
out
it
the
in different
bando.
places. In a New York accent, you get trash and traffic. You also get sad and bad. Here's a New York speaker.
Trash.
Trash.
Whereas in Philadelphia, those are not some of those trap words that are going to get raised. We're going to get other ones like man and hand. So you'll get something more open like my own, ah, traffic, trash, sad, bad. Here's a Philadelphia speaker on similar words with a different sound.
Traffic.
So if you want a quick cocktail
Traffic.
party test, you could have somebody say trash or traffic.
Trash.
That's it for accent party tricks. I'm Eric.
No. Do LA versus the Bay or something. I definitely would like to do more of these accent videos, man. This is very interesting. Alright, you guys, so that was how to tell accents apart by the channel called Wired. But yeah, again, this is very, very intriguing, very interesting, and I definitely want to see more. Y'all let me know your thoughts about it down in the comment section down below. Y'all know it's Boomer and Jer watching Bali Star. Make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, so that we join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. Try to tell what accent I use. You feel me? Let me know if I use an accent or something. Alright, I'm gonna catch y'all 100. Ooh! Yeah.